tell me this, guys. If you look at the Red Sox right now, first, it's clear that we overrated them. That any talk of the World Series and the division was based on a premise that is just false. That they were a couple of players away from being contenders, and if they were a couple of players away from being contenders, they got the wrong players. So, if you look at the Red Sox, look at their lineup, McCone, you tell me, which Red Sox players, just say at their best, would every team in baseball say, give me that guy? At their best. So I can count one. And one of them healthy, one of them is not.
Bregman.
So Bregman not healthy, and then Devers, who everybody has a problem with, but Devers is doing his job better than Alex Cora and better than Craig Breslow.
Yeah,
He's actually hitting. He's hitting. That's his job. That's what you asked him to do at the beginning of the season. We were here. You said it was early in the season. We were here. People were mad at Devers because he wouldn't give up third base. Right. So, hey, give up third base. Be a DH. Be like David Ortiz. Okay. He's doing it. He's doing it. Now, he didn't come up last night, the big situation last night with an opportunity to put a run on the board. He didn't deliver, but he did make contact. But what you wanted from Rafael Devers when he gave up third base is what you're getting from Devers. Right?
Yes.
But circumstances have changed since then, and I think that's the issue. Your first baseman had his knee explode.
Yep, knee explodes. So what? And Tubby won't pick the glove up.
But Alex Bregman, the leader of the team at third base, who's been your most valuable player in terms of WAR, is now out for the next 2 months. The only way, potentially right now, or the cleanest way to get another veteran bat in the lineup, a Masataka Yoshida, which is sitting out on the side. If you go play third base, Devers, you can bring a Yoshida back. Even if it's not Yoshida, even if it's Rafi, or even if it's Roman Anthony, and you want to keep Ceddanne Raphael in the everyday lineup, you could put him at DH and rotate the outfield. But there's a pathway there. There's other ways to do it. I'd bench Ceddanne Raphael. I've been there for a while. DFA Trevor Story. But there is a pathway where Devers going to third base would make this easier.
I'm with you. But Milliken, okay, so wait a minute. We spent all of March telling Rafael Devers he sucked at third.
Yes.
Which he does.
Which the organization messed up from day one.
But he does, right? He's not a talent defensively, he's not a good third baseman. He never has been. So, hey, why don't you stop being selfish? Stop being selfish. Give up, put your glove away, and be a DH. You got a lot of money. Be a DH. Just hit, Devers. Hey, excuse me. Hey, you're not so bad at third. Why don't you help the team out? Pick up the glove again. I mean, I'm not saying he's against it, but it is weird. It really speaks to the lack of planning by the team.
Yes.
Where you're jumping around with Devers. And Devers, his confusion is somehow makes him selfish. I'm on his side. I can tell I'm on his
They're
side.
not mutually exclusive, though, right? You can be a really poor planner, and they certainly were, and they boxed themselves into a corner. But for a $300 million player that's supposed to be your leader, that clearly is not a leader in the clubhouse, if the team comes to you and says, hey, you know what? This is one option that's going to make us better, isn't that a no-doubter? Even if you're angry about the situation? So now you're going to have the rookie, Christian Campbell, who's already struggling to begin with, try to learn first base.
Lowest OPS in all of baseball in the month of May.
What makes him better? Devers at third?
You could put Devers at third.
Devers at third.
Roman
Devers at
Anthony
third.
DH
Okay,
and rotate.
so if Devers at third makes him better, I don't think Devers is against playing third base. I think Devers is against playing first base.
Right, now they're too scared to ask him to play third base because of the first base situation.
Who has to ask anybody to play anywhere?
That's the thing. You don't
There's
have to
your
worry
first
about getting
ass backwards
embarrassed.
problem.
You're not going to get embarrassed. You're playing a position you already know. But we know since Toronto, Devers has stopped taking grounders completely, which feels like really a reaction to what they and how they handle this entire process beforehand.
But listen.
You ready to bite Milliken?
Whose problem is that, though? Did they tell him?
It's a bad look for both sides.
Did Devers say, I'm not taking grounders anymore? Or did they say to Devers, we don't want you taking grounders. Focus on being a DH.
See, and that's where they screwed up. Yes, 100%. They came in way too hot in terms of, get rid of throw away the glove was one of the dumbest things.
But that's precautious. That's precautious.
And that's the issue. That's where things should start to stick out a bit.
When you have guys go down.
You lied to him all offseason, and now you're going to have to deal with the repercussions of that. But at this point in time, things have changed. When Devers spoke about first base, he acted like they just told them to change positions because nothing happened. No, your first baseman's down. Your third baseman is now down. The circumstances have changed. You would hope that he'd be at least willing to offer on even a part-time basis to step up and play third here and there to make it fit so another veteran guy on the team can fit into the lineup when you've scored 5 runs in your last 4 games. You need professional hitters at this point.
I got you.
You
But
don't
Milliken,
even have that.
I love hot taking as much as anybody. I love it. I love it. I love the hot takes. But before we go down that road, do we know if Devers has refused to play third? We don't know that. I know he refused to play first.
Yeah.
He did. He was like, nope. Remember that press conference? Nope. No,
Good luck. Yeah.
Will you play? Will you be a DH? Nope.
I play third.
I'm a third baseman. So, does he still identify as a third baseman?
I think he made it clear.
That's a good question.
When he got put to first base, he goes, they told me I'm a DH. I'm a DH. That's what I'm going to be. I'm not going to keep changing positions. That was a stance he took. And whether you want to have some feelings towards Alex Cora or not, the fact that that can't even be a conversation or something he can get Devers to do or consider at this point in time is an indictment for a player manager who that is considered his strongest skill.
But, hey, the least of your problems right now, Zoe, is Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
That's the least of your problems. You got other problems. And like I said, tell me the other player in baseball, other player on the Red Sox. Take away Bregman, take away Devers. Who in baseball? What team is looking at the Red Sox saying, "I want that guy"?
Jaron Duran deserves to be in there as well.
Really?
Carlos Narvaez, who's second in WAR amongst rookies right now, has been the best defensive catcher in the sport. Is hitting 280.
So, but wait a minute. Come on now.
Carlos Narvaez, people would take Carlos Narvaez right now, without a doubt.
Any team in baseball would say, "Yeah, they have."
As a backup catcher, he'd be the best backup catcher.
What a backup catcher! That's the
No,
issue. That's what
you're
I'm
saying
talking
every
about.
team, a team with Will Smith or whatever. Carlos Narvaez has been one of the better catchers in baseball so far this year. It's not an opinion. That's a fact.
Roman Anthony going deep again last night for the Woo Sox. Milliken, what was the exit velo on that home run?
115. It's back-to-back days. There was 116 before that. You look this year, there's 6 players in the big leagues that have hit a baseball harder than 116 miles per hour. Roman Anthony has now done it 3 different times at AAA this year.
Why is he not with the Red Sox, Holly?
It's a good question. Yeah, so you bring him up. It's a conversation point right now. It's the only exciting thing about the Red Sox, because you've kind of taken away your excitement gems. Okay, so you had Christian Campbell. So you had the vaunted 3 prospects. One of them comes up to start the season. The second one comes up with the injury to Bregman, and you got one more. So what happens if you call up Roman Anthony? I mean, it's more exciting to have him in the minors, quite honestly, because think about it. Realistically, if Roman Anthony comes up, I have no doubt he'll be a very good major leaguer. But is he going to be a great major leaguer this year? I mean, he could be, but chances are he won't.
Where would you put him? Left?
You put him anywhere.
What about DH? Can he DH?
I don't think you bring up a kid, a minor leaguer, to be a DH. You have
got some bat to him.
You have a DH. You have a DH.
You have a DH and a third baseman.
You have a
potentially.
DH.
You got a guy who can play third.
But I think once you bring up all these guys, now you've declared that this is who you are right now. You can't play around with them. Yeah. So if you have all of these guys, you can't send them down. You call them up now, they struggle. You have to live with it. You got to be committed to having them all up here now. Are the Red Sox ready to have all 3 of these guys?
No.
Committed to the 2025 Boston Red Sox?
That's not the way you do it. It's not the way you do it.
Well, right. So I guess maybe the answer to the question is you don't call them up because you're not sure that you're ready to make that commitment.
So you're essentially, though, punting on the season if you're doing that, right? You're saying that I don't think we're good enough right now to bring him up. Because if you're bringing him up, the expectation is, and obviously he would be an upgrade over what you have, right? You're not putting your best lineup out there right now.
Let me ask you this.
You hope so. You hope he's an upgrade.
Not having much fun watching this team. I'll tell you that right now. You bring up the kids, and guys we've been talking about. Look at Marcelo Meyer and how the excitement of that. Campbell at the beginning of the year couldn't stop talking about him. At least you got 3 or 4 kids now that you might want to sit down and watch on a nightly basis And you know they're not going to win, but let's see how they play.
But Campbell's hitting up.
You need a draw.
What's Campbell hitting now?
He has the lowest
Yeah,
OPS
it's not
in the
good.
month of May. He's been the worst hitter in the sport this
Yeah,
month. After winning Rookie of the Month in the first month. But I think you understand those are the bumps and bruises a rookie's going to take. That's why it's great to dream that Roman Anthony will come up here and get you to the playoffs and turn into second half Jackson Churia or Jackson Merrill. Guess what? Even if he doesn't, I don't care, because you got to take those bumps and bruises and learn at the big league level at some point. Just like Xander Bogaerts did, Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr. in 2014. It has to happen at the big leagues at some point in time. And if you want to get to next year and be competing and actually, not waste 2-3 years in a bridge year, which they've said the dial is turned to winning, you need to learn now. There's nothing Roman Anthony has left to do at AAA. The truth is he's more of an advanced bat than Christian Campbell and Marcelo Meyer. He should have been up here on opening day,
Well,
but
here's
they
the
couldn't
problem.
figure out the outfield logjam. And it's because they won't call him up right now because they're scared he's going to finish first or second in Rookie of the Year voting, and they're going to lose a year of control his age 27 season.
Well, listen, here's the problem with that. You talk about Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts came up his first year. They were in last place.
Yeah.
So you can live with it because the team was going nowhere. Xander Bogaerts, great in 2013 in the postseason.
Yep.
But on a winning team, a team that won the World Series, there's no way, I just don't think, you tell me, you think people in Boston right now are willing to be patient with 3 rookies when just a few short months ago, hey, they went out, they signed, they traded for Crochet, they signed Alex Bregman, World Series playoffs. You're gonna now that the season turns to the point where we're talking about being patient with 3 rookies and kind of slogging along at a second, third, fourth place pace. People are patient with that?
I mean, it's either that or slog along without the rookies, it feels like. Because to me right now, and especially coming off of last night, it feels like you have to do something here. And we've been talking about sort of pulling one of these levers, and whether that's Cora, which doesn't seem realistic, but do you actually pull the trigger on Fatsy, your hitting coach right now, and get rid of him and shake some things up right now?
Do nothing. The bench coach. You want to fire someone, fire the damn manager. You want to shake something up, you want to get something going, fire the manager.
Okay, so you fire the manager, which they won't do.
Yep.
No.
Elevate the next round. You get
All
him,
right.
and you get to Devers. You tell him you're playing
All right,
third.
but do you think that
moving another kid up.
do you think that firing Cora will get them will unlock this team?
No, it'll
Well,
jolt him. Hopefully.
Yeah, it'll give them a jolt, but will it unlock? And because my point is, I think they're overrated. I think we overrated them. I mean, that's really the bottom line is we overrated
He's
the Red
not the guy
Sox.
we thought he was.
Well, not just him. I'm talking about the team.
Yeah, the lineup
I'm talking about the
I thought
team.
Tanner Houck was
Yes.
going to be a number 2 starter after last year. He's on the IL with a phantom injury right now.
Are you
Brian
excited?
Bayo,
How about
yeah.
Crochet?
he's the guy. That's one of say what you will about Craig Breslow's offseason, just about everyone he brought in has been nailed.
I like Crochet.
It's the guys that have been here the last couple of years that are the biggest disappointments and the biggest problems.
We
on
haven't seen the
roster.
development from some of the guys that you were hoping for. Like you said, the pitchers, Bayo, Houck, those guys.
You can talk, Tristan Casas before he ended up getting injured. Jaron Duran has been really good the last month, but kind of been inconsistent throughout the entire year. Ceddanne Rafaela did not make the jump they were hoping for. Connor Wong, who was a starting catcher to start the year, is absolutely pathetic and doesn't have an extra base hit this year. Those guys didn't make those steps forward. So that's where you are. It's a lot of the guys that have been here.
And
that are
then
letting you
and
down.
then you look
Garrett
at
Whitlock in the bullpen.
Garrett Whitlock, but then you look at Trevor Story, you look at some of the other guys in the everyday lineup. I mean, even Abreu, great start to the season. I think we just have unreasonable expectations of who these guys are. That's why I asked the question about other teams in baseball, what they see when they look at the Red Sox. And so you see some nice pieces, but I'm talking about foundational stars, guys. You say I gotta have them on my team because if I can get these 3 guys, I can put anybody else around them, and we'll be in pretty good shape. I think the Red Sox have 1, maybe 2 of those guys. I don't know if Jaron Duran is a foundational. I can't live without him. I'd never untradeable.
Fun player to watch, though.
Untradeable.
Fun player to watch.
How many untradeable guys?
No, that's fair. Yeah.
don't have any.
Crochet might be one of them.
Crochet, Devers, and then you would make the argument Bregman beforehand. But
That's
even
it.
that's
3. You have 3.
Even that's an argument, right?
3.
Yeah.
So if they fire Alex Cora, now you have another manager coming in, and maybe you have, and this is the irony is his strength is supposed to be communication. So maybe
that has not been his strength so far this year.
So maybe you have better communication, but I wonder if you'll have better playing. Will this team play
It's been
better?
a bad 2 weeks for him. Real bad 2 weeks for him.